Welcome everyone to SGSH Publications. So today we are having OBU NILA PRIYA ma'am with us. Firstly, I would like to congratulate you ma'am for having your book published with us. And now when your book is live on all the platforms, so how are you feeling ma'am?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really feeling elated and so happy because my book has been published and you have helped me a lot because publishing is a dream of every writer, correct? So I'm really happy.
That's great. Okay, so ma'am, firstly tell our audience about your book. Like what is, inside your book, what are they going to you read and everything? Tell us about that.
So talking about my book, so it is titled as The Decluttered Path, which means something you can understand that this is all about cleaning, decluttering, like you're going to a stress-free lifestyle. So I could say this is like a lifestyle change for everyone. Thing which we have been following since our ancient times, but nowadays we have forgotten many heritage. Similarly, I could say this minimalism concept has been taken from the foreign countries, but it is very new terminology to us. So in my book, I have quoted many examples, like some of the key notes, how we can implement into our new lifestyle. This book is for someone who is looking for a change in their life. It can be a student, you can be a office goer or a housewife, or you are into your retirement plans. So this can be suited to each and everyone who is looking for changing their life for good.
Amazing. Okay. So now I would like to ask you something about yourself. Like, tell us something about yourself.
Okay. So I come from South India and I have completed my graduation in engineering. So, and I'm currently working as a director at EduBrains Limited. So, where I'm teaching students on content writing and HR modules. So, I like writing. So, reading is my passion actually. So, it started from my childhood. So, that is how I think the writing journey has been started. So, reading is the first stage for any writer to start writing.
Amazing. So
That is how.
Yeah. So when was the first time when you pick up the pen and जब आपने लिखना start करा?
So writing, I never knew that just people who write a diary can become a writer. So I never thought I would be writing a book. Because last time or in the last year, I would say when I started my company, I never knew I would be writing a book. I was teaching students about writing a book. So that is how I got to write. But I never imagined myself as an author, if you asked me last year.
Amazing.
So it just started now.
That's great. Okay. So ma'am, what do you think about life? What is life according to you?
So life is again like a book.
Okay.
They say, some people say it is written by God.
Yes.
If you are a spiritual person, but I would say, yes, you can. You can predict some of the patterns, you can observe, but yes, you have a pen with you. So you can also rewrite it. That's according to me. Thank you.
That's great. Okay, so in our lives, there comes lots of situations when, we are not able to, do the work efficiently. So in all those conditions, how do you maintain yourself and what's that one thing which, kind of pushes you to do better in your field?
Okay. So one thing I would say is the expectations. Okay. So we ourselves have expectations on others and on ourselves. So we can't satisfy all of the expectations. So if you understand this, if you're conscious about what we want, what is the expectations, whether it is a basic one or it is something out of our hands. So those things, if you're able to prioritize and classify, you can efficiently work on what is needed.
Amazing.
That is how I motivate myself.
Okay, so whenever we talk about the corporate world, we always talk about the pressure that comes with it, right? And since you are kind of related to this field, so I would like to ask you, like, how do you cope up with all that pressure?
So my major role in corporate, like as you were saying, I'm into the content writing industry also. So I get clients, I get students to teach. So first thing I mastered is the patience. So you have to be patient first. You should be a logical thinker. Not necessarily you master it, but yes, time will teach us. So you will undergo a lot of challenges. Each problems will teach you each new lesson. So how you cope up with it is all matters, because if you get stressed or tensed,
Yes.
your student will repeat the same. So as a teacher, I have the responsibility to be a role model. So
Yeah.
I think every teacher can relate to it. You're directly or indirectly,
True.
you're guiding someone.
Yes, indeed.
So,
That's amazing. Okay. So, like, yes, as you said, that we have to, manage ourselves to be the role model in front of the students or in front of anyone. So there are lots of time, there are, projects like these which are in group, right? And leadership is a skill that everyone should have. So how would you, like if you could guide our audience how to develop this leadership skill and this team management skill, it would be really great.
okay. As you said, so every corporate look for a person who is good at teamwork,
Yeah.
and as you said, the leadership skills. They search for your interest, they search for your skill sets in your resume. So it starts from there. But if you are someone who is very people person, I would say, so please choose a career according to your capability. And if you are able to, or you have interest, develop it, because not everybody has leadership skills. But there will be a hidden talent if you are more keen in learning new things. If you want to achieve something, you have that interest, that determination. Definitely, you can become a leader. You can start from house. Just take up some responsibilities at home, maybe a garden, like developing a hobby, I would say. Some people, they go for purchasing vegetables in the local market. You think that's just a primary thing? No, it has a lot of things hidden in it. Finances, it can be money management, it can be. So everything has some hidden meaning, I would say. So leadership can be developed at any stage. So if you are starting early, it will be good.
Okay. So since your book is talking about the minimalist kind of, style, so I would like to ask from you, what is the real meaning of a minimalist lifestyle?
So lifestyle, I'll start from what is a lifestyle, basically. So lifestyle is something how we are living. It can be classified based on the finances, or it can be classified based on the belief systems of us, our culture or heritage or our religious beliefs. So minimalistic lifestyle is something like that, I would say. So this can be followed by anybody from any age group, whether you're in India or in other countries. So this is something more focused on living with less, they say, which means living with the necessity, like how you can understand and you can live with less things. So it more talks about the materialistic world, like how we are forced into consumerism, because now we have various brands, we have many choices, lot of I would say in anything. It can be from apparels, or it can be in the education system, footwears, watches. Those times, if you ask our grandparents, they would just point out to just one or two brands. But now we have various n number of brands coming up. New coffee shops have been launched. We are not limited to certain choices. We have given a lot of opportunities to choose. So I would say this freedom of choosing has led into more consumerism. So minimalism will teach you, or it will take you uh, to the ancient times, where how we can choose only the necessity and how we can differentiate between what is want and needs. So if you figure out what are your needs, you know how to handle your wants. So this is the concept of minimalism.
That's great. Okay. So, do you believe in spirituality?
Yes, I definitely believe in spirituality.
Okay. So
And
what?
it is
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So what is spirituality for you?
For me, I would say spiritual person who is someone who believes in themselves. They believe who they are, and they know, they try to get the meaning of how and where we are belonging to. It can be like the lifestyle again, being minimal, helping others. So all these characteristics, a person spiritual, like a conscious person, I would call them as a spiritual person.
Amazing. Okay, so as we talk about spirituality, there are, like, as we said, that everyone has different notion about it, right? So many people relate it to the God. So I would like to ask from you: do you believe in any form of God, and like, what is God in reality to you? Like, for you, what do you think?
Okay. So yes, I come from South India, so I do believe in idol worship too. So we do have temples, we visit them because I understand that there is some scientific reason behind visiting temples. Having an idol worship is something you are more concentrating on a focus point. Like in yoga, they teach you are going to focus on a central point. You're going to close your eyes, meditate, and concentrate on something, a light, for example. Similar way, an idol is something which is created physically for us, people who don't know yoga. We just go to temples, we just close our eyes, we meditate on something, right? At least we concentrate on seeing a diya or something like that. I would say yes, I do believe in that. Because at home, it is not possible 24/7 to light a diya and focus on God or focus on the good things. So if you automatically visit a temple, for example, you go with family members, it the temple itself is a positive ball of energy. All people think only for goodness of others. So you go there and you automatically attract the positive energy there. So it's a very good, smartest way our ancestors have done it.
Amazing. Okay, so I would like to ask you, like, to know from you, the scientific aspect of meditation. Like, have you ever thought of it into that way? So,
Okay. So I had attended yoga sessions most recently where my teacher was teaching about some of the really incidents, like how a person can manage anger. Because similar to other emotions like happiness, sadness, we have so many we can quote nowadays.
yes.
People call it depression, some call they are more into anxiety. So all these terms are new to the older generation. So yoga, it directly or without knowing, it heals many of our mental problems like depression, loneliness. So if you tend to meditate, I have experienced myself. Whenever I practice yoga, I feel that my free electrons, they say, as they say in the chemistry classes, like free electrons are there with us also.
Yes.
Why to make it roam around? Through exercise, we emit our negative energy. Similar way, doing breathing exercises, you're exiting all the negative energy from us. We call spiritually it is energy, scientifically it is ions or atoms,
Yes.
anything like that. That is how I relate.
That's amazing. It was a really great explanation, I would say. And that's really amazing. Okay, so I would like to ask you, like, since you are also a female and as a woman, and you are even working in corporate, so whenever we are working in like any environment, so I would like to ask you, have you ever felt this kind of any kind of inequality, or have you ever, seen happening it with anyone else? So what's your experience about it?
Okay. So when I heard about inequality in the workplace, it was me who was studying in 8th standard. So at that time, my very own teacher, she was sharing about her injustice which was happening in the workplace. I don't want to mention the exact incident, but yes, regarding the salary scales, people with same experience just because of gender getting lesser salary compared to men. So that was not acceptable. I was very curious about that. I did not know how to approach to this problem. I was not happy with what happened to my teacher. I came home, I discussed with my parents, even they had no idea about it. But the same thing still runs on my mind because the people or the society think that women is more capable to handle home more than the workplace. We can see men are involved into home chores, but still the majority is in the hands of female. I see it as like we are more dominant or powerful to handle it smartly than men, I would say. So both the sides, like it has positives also, it has cons also. So, but I seriously still have no idea how to deal with these insecurities in terms of finance or in terms of securities. Still, policies should come. That is what my opinion. Because same hard work, same projects we get,
Exactly.
same time we have 24 hours per day. Still, pay scale is not different. Which is not acceptable.
True. Even as a woman, you also have to take care of your home and your family as well. So you are doing kind of two things at one time, and still you are getting paid less and you are even valued less. That is also one thing. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really amazing. Like talking to you is getting lots of information and knowledge as well at the very same time. So yeah, I would like to ask you about, the your strength. I would like to ask about your strength and your weaknesses according to you.
So starting from my strengths. So I am a very creative person or I'm very enthusiastic by nature. So I am always a curious kid in school. Like I'm a middle bencher, proudly. So I belong to the first and also to the last category. Sometimes I score good. I have top and I also failed in my exam sometimes. Yes. So I know. So this is like strength is like I'm more determined. If I like something, I would try hard to get it. So this is my strength, I would say. And I'm a very good leader, I would say. And my weakness, for example, like I'm a little bit like how would I say, this is my strength, also my weakness also. Like I expect perfection, like to be punctual or like yeah, I think that is sometimes my positive also, sometimes it's my negative also. I've learned many lessons in my school days where I have got punishments also, like for not attending the classes, being irregular, some tuitions like that. So this is my weakness.
That's amazing, I would say. Because most of us are, these middle venture value category. Okay. So, yeah, I would, obviously it is very interesting to talk to you and to get so much knowledge about you. So, as we talked about minimalistic lifestyle, right? So I would like to ask you about one more thing. Like in today's world, as we see that people's expectations, their dreams, their desires, everything is in a way increasing, and we want to achieve success at the earliest age, right? This is something that has been observed in almost every youngster. Everyone wants this. So, but that also at some points prove to be fatal for them, because it kind of makes you to feel depressed, and you see so many people achieving so much, and then it also has some negative impact on us. So how to deal with all of this?
Okay, so the key point will be the societal pressure or peer pressure as
Yes.
I can observe from your question. So this book, my book, involves about a character called as Anita. So she is dreaming of building a house. This is how the story goes. So you will observe in each chapter about the societal pressure she faces. So Anita wants to become a minimalist. So that is about the book. So you can understand when you read it, each chapter, how she builds her kitchen, how she builds her office at home, how she makes her dining setup. She has more friends. So how she welcomes friends to her house, a small party area. So how she builds a house, that is all about my book. So it involves some of the factors, as you said. See, everybody has different priorities. Like
Yes.
one is more into workaholic people. They think that is for their family. Yes, I appreciate them. I really respect them. But family time is also very important.
Indeed, yes. Bilkul.
So if you are learning about this minimalistic lifestyle, you have some consciousness, you get some consciousness on to prioritize things. We have so many methods. I think minimalism is not new, actually. It's been in India for more than, I can say, 5 or 7 years. I am also following minimalism blogs and all those documentary films in Netflix. So I do watch it. So I have no idea first. And then when I got to know more realistic examples, I found people who prioritizes their things have found peace. Like they had more free time to relax because, as you said, people have stress and all these things. Visiting office, traveling. Nobody talks about travel stress. Everybody who goes to office have that travel tiredness. And yes, girls, women, they have more stress because they have to go to home, they have to cook food, they have kids, then that's all. So nobody talks about this. That's why I say sit and write down your priorities. What is your first priority? Maybe if you love your work, keep it as first priority. Second priority, have as your family. So dedicate as much as time you dedicate for your work. So setting priorities is the only solution, I would say, for reducing all these stress or anything, comparing others. You have your day. As they say, there are so many quotes, like everyone has day. Just think that your day is coming soon. That's it.
Amazing. That's great. So, when we are talking about, women and their challenges, so as we know that as a woman, we have to, take care of so many responsibilities at one time. So, in all those, scenarios, like you have to take care of everything and then you have to work as well. And both should be done perfectly or maybe efficiently, we could say. So, how do you manage both of these things? And have you ever faced any kind of, problem? So, and even if you faced it, so how did you solve it? That's what I would like to know from you.
Okay. So one thing is everybody has their very own time slot, as I would say, because some will be a morning person, some will be a night owl. So one is more convenient to work in the morning. They like to read, they like to have some me time or the self time. But once you are in a family, once you're talking about a family life, it is very difficult because meeting others' requirements, as you know, starting from refreshments, cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks in between. So, managing all these things. And now we have work from home options too. That has made the work even more stressful for most of them. Because we are not organized. Because when we were going to office, we were more organized. 9 to 5, we have to make a lunch prepared before 7 o'clock or 8. Now we have time. We are not forced to cook early, like for example, like that. So I have faced some timing issues because I failed to prioritize in the beginning. I used to postpone my things, postponing editing works or postponing the designing work. So as a content writer, I have many tasks to complete, like starting from my research. I need to research on the topic and I need to edit it, my first draft, second draft, my final draft. I have to look in for my image and I have to look in for the plagiarisms. So there are so many things in content writing. So I'm relating to myself here. So timing was a very major issue to tackle. But when I had a open communication with my family members, I was able to achieve, because once you communicate openly with your family or in your workspace, for example. So if you tell them that you are able to do this only at this time, they will also understand about our requirements. So I will be adjusting according to that. So that is how I have handled it.
Amazing, ma'am. It was really nice interacting with you. Now I would like to ask you if you have any message for our audience that you would like to give to them.
Okay. So a general message is like me being into content writing industry, I would always suggest people to start reading any book, any novels or fiction. You can even start from comics, I would say, a children's story book. Because why, you see, communication is very important, I would say. So there are 4 factors like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So all these 4 are interrelated. So if you start reading, you will be able to start writing, because all these things are communication tools. Writing and speaking is something related to communication in any language. It can be anything. And watching, you can start watching the language related videos. Maybe you want to learn Hindi, you can go and watch Hindi films. You have so many options now. You have AI tools to suggest you good movies. Now you have a lot of options. Technologies have been developed so well that yeah, I would say AI is something like it is emerging. It is showing that it is very robust. It is so powerful. Use it to our benefit. Just use the technology to our very own growth, I would say. So that is my message. Use the technology well.
Amazing, amazing, ma'am. Okay. So,
Thank you.
yes. Ma'am, how was your experience with SGSH publication? And do you have any suggestion for us so that we can improve our services?
Okay. So my experience in publishing with SGSH was very smooth. It was hassle-free. It was very easy to mention. I did not have any hurdle like chasing for editing or to get the feedbacks from the publisher. My experience was very good. I really want to recommend to my friends also. My friends and family, I would recommend.
Amazing.
You guys are doing very good job.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. It was really nice interacting with you. Got to learn so many new things from you, and I hope our audience would also have enjoyed this interview and would have learned, something new from this interview. So, thank you so much for this amazing interview, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.